Oh, so today's going to be a quicker stream than usual. I've got some stuff to do in an hour or two. So I'm just going to make sure everything is set up nicely. And we're just going to be like remodeling the front area. Oh, yes. Let me make sure I do this quick too. I always forget. Because every time you can grab, yeah, the link, and you can put it in. And I think that should be good. Let me quick make sure that the blip was sent out every time you go on. Yeah. Alright, nice. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to be remodeling the main area. Hello. How are you doing? There we go. And I want to make sure that these aren't being seen quick. Yeah, I dislike how this is just a big block in the main scheme of things. And let me try out putting that there, and maybe I can see things better. But yeah, it's just really strange having to start like this, and it can already take a bit to kind of model in a new area, which is why I'm focusing on just that for today's stream. Oh, because it's, yeah, doing scroll wheel. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of having like something come down into here. Um, hmm. Issue is, yeah, I'm thinking of doing just like an elevator or something. Kind of like Deep Rock Galactic, if you've seen that game. Because that game's pretty fun. Um, Alright, yeah. Let me set this 0. Put this down. We can get rid of that. Do this. We can take the back here, bring this in. Alright, I want to see if this generates still nicely. Grab onto this. Nope. Is this any better? This may be the closest we can get it. So take that. That will be nice. We'll stretch this back a bit. It's just a bunch of like fixing this up right now. Oof. Yeah, there was a bug there. That's not good. Because it's just fitting everything. Oh, hello. How are you doing? I'm just quickly trying to make a better starting room for my game right now. Hope you're doing well. Ooh. It looks like Generation is still going strong, which is nice. Because it's off of this basis. Oops. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Alright, nice. And then let's make a more focused look. No, that's not good. No. Um, that's like that. That's like that. Because it's parented. Hmm. Take this out. Zero it. There we go. Um. Then we can have like sliding doors or something. That would look nice. No. No. Hmm. I don't know if any of these are gonna work. Let me as well see. Yeah, turn those off so we can save any frame rate. And then we want to copy the Z component of this one. Impart the Z here. Hmm? Oh, it's probably then the size. Just that the size of things are being strange. All right. Let's just add some like props. I think that's good. Let's see if the tables and chairs will just like destruct. Nice. Um, let's look at the stats. Oh, I did not notice a weapon had dropped, so. But it's kind of bad, this weapon. This weapon's better. Although it does less damage. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this opening is so much better. Let's grab this. And then we want the player to just fall into their first weapon. Let's get this a bit closer. And let me touch on this. Alright, there you go. And then we just want to look at the starter script. Which is this right here. We haven't affected this in an incredibly long time, the starter generation script. This will be the this will allow us to not have those generations that have nothing. Because it basically just spawns a room. But spawn block, do game objects, game. We gotta grab the regular generation 2. Get component. Size generator. Oh, but this is only on start. Well, first of all, then I guess it can just destroy itself. But then second of all, we're gonna need to have like actually, yeah, do this. But we can still do this. Size generator. And what we want to grab is a public boolean of first block. First block is going to be true. And then all I want to do after that is... no, I'd have to go into the core generative setup. That's kind of the problem, is that would be a lot. But I do think that getting rid of that will help. Still, but yeah, it would get rid of a lot. I think we still have to go into the platform destruction. And I kind of like take a look into what's going on here. Because it still does the collision. We know this. Platform collision plan. We even using this? We are. Or no. We could actually... We could keep going along with that. We could keep going... Yeah. And then we could bring it in here. It may work. even though I know I'm doing this for the third time now. Ooh, come on. Alright, wow. Hit that up. And then we can say, like, you learn to use C++. I actually got a degree. I got a degree in basically game development. So this right now is C sharp, but I still do know how to do C++. Um, but yeah, I have like a couple degrees. I have a bachelor's and an associate's. I'm a recent programmer, college grad, basically. Still learning a lot. So, thank you. It it's an interesting journey. It's an interesting journey. I didn't know what to expect at first. I just knew I wanted to make games, but yeah, this is Unity. I don't have a machine that could run Unreal right now. If I did, this would not be looking the way it is. It would be much prettier. Because I have a whole idea of how I want to do it too. It's false. We're gonna have to start it like that, but then we can do it like this. But yeah, because I've worked with Unity for like a decent bit of my degree right now, but just using blueprints to code so far. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, it's funny because it is either you are a designer and of a specific craft, or you're a programmer and sometimes of a specific craft. There's no like you can try to do the in between, but it's a lot of work. Like I met some people that do a lot of like design stuff still, uh, and they know how to program, but it's very far and in between because it's like you have to be an artist and you have to like know all this stuff about setting up logical like patterns at the same time and do both in one sitting, and it sounds nuts. It's my code of choice, but unfortunately it doesn't get me far in this endeavor. I mean, yeah, I've made a game with Python before, but Pygame is, yeah, it doesn't, it's not the best engine for big game development type of stuff. I totally get it, and I mean Python is a great language otherwise, and like in any other scenario, basically. Like I actually would enjoy if it was Python as well right now. C Sharp can be funny sometimes. Not as bad as C++ though. Because C++ they have all the setups and stuff and memory allocation mattering on what you're doing, and I hate that. Um, it should be this one. Yeah, grab that. There we go. All right. So if let dot and then its first block, and then we just say if it's false. Oh yeah, but by no means like am I an insanely good programmer or anything. I even with the 4 years of it that I've done, I am still kind of baby level. I'm gonna be honest, or at least I can get like complex stuff working, but it's not the prettiest looking code. Alright, please don't freak out. It's a start. C++ makes my brain hurt, lol. Was trying to set up using a SQL database, but gave up and just built, wrote an API to do it instead. Yeah, it's definitely a strange one. Debug log. Deleted. Like, for the small amount of games I've made in C++, it had to have been so bare bones. Like, it was either like a randomized algorithm, so it's kind of like a dice roller, but you just see the terminal. Or it would be the terminal, but I would run a constant while loop, and then I would create like a grid in the background and move stuff on that grid. And that was like 1,000 lines of code, just that one setup. And I was just like, what the heck? just to get it kind of respectable. I totally get it. So what is going on here? Is this still... Oh yeah, because it deletes. Huh. It's probably still fine. Because this will just overcheck again, basically. Maybe a beefy engines do most of the legwork now. Yeah. Honestly, without it, I don't know how I'd be doing this stuff, because otherwise this is just pure suffering. And I don't need that boolean, because it's just giving the program heartache. See, at some point I will have to run a big, like... This is a generative dungeon? Yes. So this is in large an experiment, but, you know, I'm a solo dev team trying to make, like a world generator really work nicely. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just wondering if this is... Maybe it's like colliding with this. Even though I don't want to untag it like that. That may be the issue. But, yeah, wow. It's a generative dungeon that can go on forever, basically. If it'll spawn. It's because I'm screwing with the generation right now. But, oh, and it started okay, well, thank you. Maybe it's just still gonna be mean to me, but... Yeah, everything that you see is just randomly generated. Oh, so now you want to be nice. Watch when I maximize, it won't. Yeah. There's slimes, ghosts, and wisps right now. Simply because, you know, making more complex enemies visually doesn't look the best for me to do. But I've always wanted like an infinitely generated game where you can get different weapons like that. And just keep playing through it. And there's chests, there's loot, there's actually bosses and stuff. If the generation will kick off. But Yeah, bosses loot, it will have a kind of a skill tree and things. You make your models too. Um, for the most part, like the torch and this sword at the start isn't mine. Um, the materials aren't mine, but like these props, the tables, the chairs, I've made, and as well like the weapons that you saw me pick up that are kind of block out like. I've made like yeah this weapon. Um, I would like to do a whole asset overview of the game at one point. Oh, so you decide to delete now. Oh wow, I didn't pick up my weapon. There we go. Um, but yeah, I'm getting shot by too many wisps. But there's like traps. Like this is a trap. Um, and yeah, it's just kind of a big experiment. Like there's a chest, and there's items in the chest if I can reach it. But I'm still getting shot by so many enemies. There's a weapon in that chest. Got that weapon. There's a working inventory system and stuff. I'm just really bad at my game. You know, feel kind of like the what are they called? Oh, I'm dead. Oh, and this is the more realistic lighting. I don't know why this isn't touching. When you spawn in, you're supposed to be bonked in the head with your new weapon. You're not supposed to see the sword model. But yeah. Alright, well that looks terrible. Okay, maybe not bonked in the head that hard. Working on this stuff really puts things in perspective. No wonder good games take so long to release. Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying with the like, you're only one of these groups, and it's like you're either or you're one of these specific portions of a specific group. It's either you are a programmer and you work on databases, or you are like a designer. Whoa, thank you. You are a designer and you work purely on like making the like level itself. There's so many aspects. When I was doing senior project, they had uh my team, which was like a team of 3, make a game for several months in a row, and we got a pretty decent thing set up, but it was kind of nuts because at a certain point we were just like, oh my gosh, the amount of like stuff we had to do. Wow, I've really got to make it more realistic, but it's not deleting, it's just not finding itself. I may fix the first generated room by making basically a copy and then spawning that copy of this. That may be how it has to be. But yeah, there was so much that we were doing. I mean, the game came out nicely, but it was just a bunch. If you're wondering the kind of role that I usually would take, is something that I at least enjoy the most is world generation. Think about what you want to design, the more your pile of work becomes. So true. I want skeletons in this game, and I'm terrified. Like, and then on top of that, I want them to be animated nicely, and that is like, whoa, that is so much work. Oh, there's a boss. And the boss knows I'm here. Oh, and it's lagging because a collision happened. Thank you. Um, but yeah, it is so like yeah, I want skeletons, I want a variety of enemies. I actually want to make an enemy generator too, which I think would be interesting. Yeah, these... So I guess what I can do is... The reason why things aren't spawning, by the way, are simply because of this system right here. These are feeling just a bit too close. Oh, yeah. I just snagged a bunch from Mixamo for now. Yeah. Oh, that's great. I'll circle back. That's kind of how I feel about it too. Well, I mean, it's kind of like I want to have the animations. Oh my gosh. Can I see from third person at least for once how this is going? Okay, I can't. Thank you. What is this stats? That wasn't running too bad for open on the setup. Oh, now I can see it. But yeah, Mixamo is kind of the best friend of a lot of people. I can agree. Oh, now you want to generate. And then you just keep going. And you just keep going. Whoa. Yeah. Well, the thing is I actually had it in a system where it was like way more responsive and it would work nicer before. But I wanted to change the start because the start usually you would actually spawn like up around this area where I'm moving the cursor, and you would walk down into the first room, and so it would make things spawn better. But yeah, the reason why that's being so laggy is because so much stuff spawns in total. Like, it seems to work weirdly more in third person. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to copy this. Um, or actually, what I could do is what would make it spawn is it if this is true, let's say, what I can do is I can just grab literally everything, and then for this, and just throw it in an else, and then it will generate everything that it should. Because these are just conditions that are like, there's a chance that a room won't spawn on a certain side, and I'm just going to kind of skip over that. But this should still, yeah, should still work. And then I just cut this back out. Okay. Now the only thing that scares me is if everything will spawn as a first block. No. I mean, it did spawn that room. That room did activate. Yeah, they are spawning. So I guess the only other thing is that they're colliding now. So what I'll do is whatever the first feeler is it choosing based on pre-chosen room configurations or based on collision? This is okay, you either are gonna think it's really cool or it's really stupid. But like I said, this game's an experiment. This is the room that spawns every time. Yeah, feelers. Well, that's what I refer to them as. So every room spawns, and I literally randomize everything. I randomize the height, what's in it. I randomize the size. So some rooms could be like super scaled up, you know? Some rooms could be like super scaled up and stuff. And there's constraints. And then these right here, these collisions or triggers, I guess you could say, these are what is referred to as feelers. And feelers, all they do is every time you spawn a room, the feeler will first check for the script. So it'll be like, is anything there? Is anything in the trigger? And if not, it's like, bam, I'm gonna spawn something there. That's how it works. Um, and so obviously there's a lot of like guesswork with, oh, is a collision gonna occur where like a room spawns in a room because like the feeler didn't see it, which is why I as well have the heavy kill switch, which is a trigger inside of rooms that will literally just destroy a room that collides into it. And so basically, originally, things weren't even spawning because it wasn't detecting the player right, um, which is why I put on that check here and things started spawning. And then stuff like more rooms aren't being made because it's colliding with the heavy kill switch. But the feelers looked like they were working because when something spawns, like you'll see the frame will change around the entrances, and that's how you know like something was going to spawn there. But it technically works. It do technically works. Like roots of a tree, exactly. When I get a good generation, I'll show you kind of like a great representation of how it looks. I would pull up an older code, which actually was my senior project back in college, which is where I made like my first feelers. Like I thought of the idea like, oh, why don't you just reach out like as if like say you couldn't see, but then you just reach your hand out to see if there's anything there, and if not, you can move in that space type of thing, like in real life if you closed your eyes. And I was just like, yo, that's a good idea. Why not just put it in the code and then set that up? And I mean, other games probably employ quite a similar practice for generative algorithms. I don't know, but it does work, and it does work vertically as well. So it can go up and down. So I do have rooms that'll spawn like at slants, so you can go onto other floors. So there's like basements, there's like um, I guess second floors, third floors, and it can go on forever, as long as the feelers feel like not feeling stuff. I guess. Um, yeah. So, oh man, sorry you get you got me on the loop because you asked me about my favorite part of this game. uh, yeah, I'm a world gen programmer. That's my core practice. Speaking of it, so whoa, let me pause here so it's not trying to load so much. This is how it looks, and you may be like, whoa, there's gotta be a bunch of collisions. But no, it's just pretty. And it's nice when it wants to be nice. It's multifaceted, multi-floored, can go down, can go up, can go on forever. And if something like this happens, this is when a collision occurs. So it'll literally cut off here, and it'll be like, well, a collision happened there, and like this will load in more cutoffs, but it's just, it do be working. That's right. It like I said, it literally has upward staircase, downwards. Here's the downwards one. Speaking of which, and it has in between as well. So in between staircases, there's these floors, and like one didn't spawn here because the feeler was like, oh, there's a building here. And then if I can go here, you can see that this is like the basement floor. And there's like as well, it can spawn in the boss floors and stuff. It's complex. Oh, here's like a boss floor. Like it has like a different colors and stuff to it as well, which is all handled by the size generator script. This whole nasty setup, this is calculating rotations, all these ifs. But this nasty setup is what makes it. This spawns in the tables, chairs, this spawns in the enemies, and bosses. And this literally randomizes every room. And it's just like, oh, this is like a boss room, so it's going to want to spawn a boss up here. Oh, and this is for staircases going up and down. And this is for the walls, because every room has a different size of walls. And this I don't use because it was purely an experiment for something. If I click off, though, it's not going to want to be nice. But it's not going to want to be nice because it is not in... wait a minute. Yeah, because of this. So the player, I actually have a kind of a radius of sorts. It should be... do I have a sphere on there? Where do I have the sphere? Not there, not there. This is it. So this sphere basically will be like, is anything there within our frame of reference? The problem is that because now that it's spawning this way, like I'm receiving a bunch of lag because a bunch of floors will spawn, but they won't be handled by basically my in-house renderer is what that is. So yeah, that is why it wants to lag so bad. But if I, like, say I could start moving, it would start handling everything. I think what I want to do, speaking of which for that, is everything is being grabbed by this. And I think I just want to turn that off. Right? But the feelers... No, but it'll turn it on. It will turn it on. So if I go to the handling script on stay, why is this not enter? Let's try enter, please. But it's greater than 0. Child 0.set active. This is child 0. Let's see if this works. So what it's going to look like is it's going to look like just a bunch of platforms. But as long as they are within the frame of reference, they should just be handled. Hey, 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 hey. Maximize on play always works a bit better. Wow. It looks like it's trying to handle it. We do have some enemies. Whoa. It's the only issue with screwing around with the way that we've started things up. Because it's spawning so many. On enter, though. Weird that it doesn't... Thank you for getting rid of that. Thank you for not? Oh, that's because of that. Wait, how is this being handled? Platform? Oh, because it leaves. Yeah. Stay. It's gonna be kind of rough with this one. Not so sure. Not so sure if this is going to come through nicely. Yeah, because it just keeps generating, so... There was the idea that I had. But that's... You know, it may just fix itself. Oops, why is that out of there? Let's put that there. But it may just fix itself by changing the height like I wanted to originally. It was handling, but the player should be with it right now, so let's just move this for a second. And then move it down. So what could be causing it? No. This one should still have it. That may be why. Everything is considered the first block. I guess back to the drawing board. I'm probably gonna have to move everything in. The reason why stuff was spawning that way, why I was giving such lag, is because everything could spawn at any time. And the game was kind of like, Okay. Whatever you say. That should be the only thing. Otherwise, now it'll be way cleaner, way nicer, load way better. One of them things. Oh yeah, and we have to move the starter platform. Okay, well, the player is not with it. Let me move the player out. Let me grab the player and this. Oh, and that. Give me this. Impart here. Put there. Yes, it's working. So if you saw there, it was generating slowly and breaking up again. Yeah. And so I just need to see here about making this an elevator. I just want to quickly go to this, go down here, go to this. Although it's funny because since I'm spawning things in like this, although I guess they'll spawn with... Oh yeah, but it's gonna want that anyways. Yeah, that's fine. But this is the lowest that it should be, which I'm going to remember by bringing in Notepad, everyone's favorite, y-axes. Okay. And how much are we already? Okay. Grab these two. And then let us make a script. Elevator. Oops. We click onto this, and we're just going to want to do a start. No update. Just start. Or I guess it can do an update, but then it can kill itself. I mean, it do not matter in that sense. Position, it's new, vector 3. And we can just grab the X, grab the Y, grab the, grab the Z, and then we're going to say minus like 0.2f. And all we want is to put this within this statement right here. If this is greater than that, otherwise it will destroy, game object dot get component, and then elevator script, and it's simple like this. There's no reason why we need to affect the elevator otherwise, so alright, let's see if this will. That's so funny, when clicked off you have literally nothing. I guess the player does take up some frames. Interesting. Although it's hitting like 80, that means if maximized on play it will still be like quite high for us, so yeah, that's decent on my laptop. Even though usually, yeah, you just can program it this way though. Does it delete? Does it assume that it is higher than it? That is the one thing we need to know. Does this script just disappear out of thin air? Alright. Not. All this on a... I gotta have a big screen to think. Yeah. Like, if you're wondering why I have such bad FPS, it is because I am on the laptop, and as well because Unity breaks every time you're like not clicked out of the hierarchy here. It can be really annoying. It does update, come on. How about this? How about we just delete? It's less than or equals to destroy. But yeah, listen, I don't even have 2 monitors. I'm doing this on 1 screen. It's funny because it's working, but this literally died. By the way, at 60 FPS with enemies on me and a boss, let's see if I can grab in a private serialized object, or transform. You can say a transform. Okay. Transform of like Y position. Less than or equals to Y position. Please. And then oh, dot y. Dot position dot y. Thank you. So I can grab my oh wait, serialized. Won't be able to see the private. Does Unity have Z culling? It's still remaining relevant. So what you see with those pieces coming down is actually like just like sometimes something will spawn in the floor, or like when something's killed by the kill box, if you're talking about that. And no, like Unity doesn't have a natural culling other than like the camera, but technically in the scene they're all still relevant. So like in my camera, part of the reason why you would see like black here where my cursor is, like not right now, but when we were in like levels, is because that's where the camera ends, the camera's render distance. But when you see something disappear up here, either it's deleted or I'm getting rid of it myself by like de-rendering it. So it's still technically physically there, but we just don't see it from my render. I made an in-house one because the performance was terrible before on my laptop. No, the elevator's gone. Come on. Oh, Y position. Yeah, that would have. I didn't notice that. So, anyways, let me add in that Y position. But yeah, listen, I wish Unity handled this stuff regularly. Then we wouldn't be suffering so much. It wouldn't be creating all this lag. Like, camera not rendering does not mean that it's not being rendered. It just means, it does help out with performance, but it's not what you think. It's not like things literally disappear from your site. So, if I grab this is how it looks right now. So what if I just created an empty Unreal is big time training wheels mode. A lot of those things are just default. Really? Well, like it's funny because elevator stop. But yeah, it's funny that you say that because Unity is purely Unity is like purely set for a bunch of just nonsense, kind of. Like if actors go to, they just get and garbage code. Really? I have to code that in. What? Is that real? Is that real? No. Being serious? Is that real? Yes, elevator works, by the way, finally. But is that really real? That makes me so sad. What? Anything too far away does too. When you come within a certain range or can see it. Bruh. What the heck? Why is this so mundane? What? Unity is like kicking my butt here, and that just wants to work. That just works. So wow, okay. Well, that makes me very sad because no, you like this whole map. You could put something in and like it goes on forever and ever. You could put something in and it'll still like keep it in the scene. It doesn't matter what. Like, even if you change how the camera views stuff, like, Unity always dealing with performance. Something behind a wall the camera doesn't see, it's not there. Wow. Well, I guess. Wow. Maybe Unity or Unreal would run better on my computer at this point. I just. Wow. That makes me very sad. I can't believe that. Yeah, no natural object handling, no, like, none of that. You have to in-house code it all on Unity. So if you're ever feeling like programming on Unity, it can be irritating when dealing with lighting. Most things to in real life scale and thin walls let in light because the back face is cold. Oh, interesting. I mean, that kind of happens with both, actually. Like with my lighting that I have, it really depends on what light specific you're using. Because like the light that I use is like point lights, which I don't know if they have them in Unreal. They probably have some similar name anyways, but it's just a spherical like light emitter. Light will come from it, but like if strong enough, will blend through walls still if thin enough. Um, but that's just because like the wall itself is programmed like regular, I guess, blocks, but it's not like this is still gonna get shown every time. That's crazy. That if you can't see it, it just disappears. I can't believe that they have that naturally in there. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, face camera away from a point light and it disappears too. What? Bro, you all naturally have that. I'm having to make a script every single time. It's funny, I've met several Unreal devs, and either they love Unreal or they hate it. Have spotlights? Yeah. We it has spotlights. Um, I'll open up the current torch or whatever. Like it's not just point lights. You can have these spotlights, but it's very specific. Like the way that the spotlights come in for certain things. Like yeah, it reduces the calculations, but I mean I already cull a lot of the lights anyways. Um, but yeah, like it would be better, but I just don't know how I would get that same significance with a torch with that spotlight because like the spotlight is so specific and it's you can't really make it spherical in this. I don't know, or kind of spherical anyways, like half circle. So you could have like light emitting off the walls and stuff still. I don't know if they have that in Unreal, but you would have to like get a package to really like make that kind of stuff pop out if you in Unity. Like this torch effect came from like somebody else's thing. Like I'm using their their assets. It's free, of course, but like a lot of stuff you have to bring in yourself. Yeah, I replaced my point lights on torches with 2 spotlights each, and it made a huge difference. Yeah. Well, that's the issue. Is I would love to run spotlight, but you can only really run it if it's like if it's like an actual flashlight. Above facing. Oh, you're saying you. Oh, okay. On 2 spotlights each enemy. Oh, so you're saying you're using two. That's what you're talking about. Um, I should probably try that. That may be better. Um, Although I would have to change it for each individual thing, so it would take me a second. But yeah. Yo, how you doing? I am making a better start. This is going to be an elevator, and it's just about getting there. I'm actually pretty excited though for today's later stream since you joined, because I made the mistake of starting out with point lights with extra calculations for flickering. Oh, yeah, that can happen. Listen, I actually, when I was starting, each ticket was picking a random float in a range and changing the light intensity. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I didn't do that. Whoa. I mean, that would be sick if your PC could run that, but that's terrifying. Especially if you're not baking those lights. Ew. It would recast a shadow every time. So you were calculating shadows if you're not baking properly. Calculating shadows and that. That's ridiculous. Um, oh yeah, I was just gonna say I'm ready for today's later stream though, Nugget Consumer, because I have some. I want to finish a lot of those missions. Well, multiply that times 100 torches. Oh my gosh! What? What? Ew! No, no, no. The most resource intensive thing I did was make like a generative structure for a game, and it just kept going and going and going. Oh my gosh, no. See, yeah, definitely not as bad as when I did the 1,000 or like 100,000 different spawn blocks. It was literally like it was basically a malware at that point. But what you're talking about sounds like you blew your PC up nearly. Sounds like you put that on Cyberpunk version 0. Oh my gosh. A PowerPoint slide. That's gross. That is gross. Oops. You know what? This would be so much better as just a Vector 3. Because then I could just grab... Oh yeah, Vector 3. Spotlight's changed it. Same tick logic, 1/8 of the tracing calculations. Oh, that's sick. I've got to work with that more because lighting is not my favorite. Control C. Control C. There we go. And then I just want slide doors. And so if slide doors is false, it'll do this. Otherwise, if it's true, I just want to... Oh yeah, technically that's not needed. It'll be like if y position dot y is equals to... Whoa, no. It's not even y, it's x. Great. X is equals to that, and if position dot x is equals to that. Oh, and then as well. If start this is just so when the elevator lands, the doors will open. That's all that check is going to do. Although it should still be public, so I can specify. But anyways, I think I just got to go down here, check this out, grab this X at the X here, and then we do this, but instead we grab that minus 0.5f, and then this one is going to be plus. Grab this. Y is greater than or equals to X. Yes, that's it. Less than or equals to Y position at X. Then I grab this. We head up here, we go here. We put this in the Y. I don't think we need extra because the way we're handling things. Let's not take up any of that, what is it called for? And then this is a slide doors. And we needed extra. Hooray! is less than extra length. Oops. Extra. Oh yes, I was wondering. Dot start is equals to true. All we needed that for is so we can tell the doors that they're ready to go. This is start. I just want to name this door. Then make sure door isn't willing to start. And then let's maximize on play and say it works right now. Hooray! Ah! That is moving so fast. By the way, let me make this fixed so it'll autocorrect. Fixed update will cure the problems. Yeah, fixed update. Oh, let me just make sure that this is working. Ain't working. Close. It's not. Slide doors is false. So it does do this, but it doesn't. How about local position? Sometimes all you need is the local position. Oh, do you have to deal with weird rotation in Unreal by any chance? Because Unity's rotation system is horrific. You have to calculate it usually yourself. Yup. Oh. Oh. The elevator works. It gets to there. And then we just need this. It gets funky when you get to it. It then switches to negative. Yes, right? Wow, so it is just terrible. It is just terrible rotationally. Yeah, because I have no clue how to make that nice and work neat. Like that's why I have so many calculations going around on the what's it called? Like so many rotational calculations here with the gross code. Because every time it's just like, is this going to be 180? Is this going to be 90 degrees? 270 degrees? In this scenario, please flip everything. Because otherwise, it was never going to work. Man, that's gross. I can't believe that. You still have to do that. Or I guess I can believe it, but it makes me not wanna. Position.x. Hmm. Luckily, there's is nearly equal. What is that? I have not heard of that before. But I imagine that's what it gets close to the point of counting forever. Just skip the next whole number. Wow, okay. There probably is something similar in Unity. There's a lot of intricacies, but there may be something similar. Otherwise, you still have to program that in, just like the rendering and its suffering. Checking if these statements work. If flow A is almost a full B within a tolerance, bool is true. Interesting. It's funny because I could easily see how that function would be coded out too. Oh? Less than, greater than? Oh, wait a minute. Not less than, greater than. How about local? Found that one when I made my day/night cycle. Interesting. I could easily see how it would be used for that too. We're just flipping it over. See, I've only made like one day-night cycle system before, but I do know a lot of times that would have been useful to have that kind of function. Yo, it opened up! I have a physicalized moon and a giant light source that rotate in east-west and divide the flow angle to get the time. Oh, smart. Okay. Interesting. Nice. If you're wondering what I do, I just kind of throw it in to like a. Oh, it deleted. This is the saddest day. Wow, that's terrible FPS right now. But mainly because. Yeah, because of that stuff. Um, giant light source. See, I've got to learn more of the slide doors. Are one of my favorite things about gaming. Just feels like a spaceship. It does. One of my first games was a space game, actually. Just like it. Well, funny elevator go burr, I guess. Whoa. I'm sorry, but I love movement shooters. I don't know what it is, but movement, loot, shooting things, kind of like Borderlands. Those are my favorite games. Warframe, I like, even though it's not first person. The game is based. I could play that any time of the day. There's another weapon. Oh! Oh! Oh yeah, if you're running about this terrible UI, this is the inventory system. And like you can, when you click something, you're allowed to drop it and all that. Which I just recently made in the last couple of streams. But this so far, this is looking nice. You know, you have your chests, the random broken chest every now and then, but you have your chests. There's a decent bit of lag, but whoa. About starting to make that, yeah. Listen, the inventory setting that up was so annoying. It was my first inventory, didn't know what that guy was doing, jumped into it head first. But it being completed is so nice. Like, because I'm not a regularly like a systems dev. Usually I'm just like trying to make something that gives like replayability to a game. See, this is regularly off, but then it turns on, and then, yeah. What I could do is I could make another object, give it a sphere collider. Oh wait, quickly zeroed out. Is a beast, storing and retrieving dozens of variables. I don't know if you saw the how I did it, but it's so janky. It's so funny. I don't even hide or I don't even store variables. I don't even store variables. I'll show you the method while I was working on the SQL stuff. It makes sense. But I don't even store variables the way I do it. Every time a player gets a weapon, I literally go into the inventory and just throw it in this inventory and then make it inactive. Like this sword, like you see it right here, I'll just put it like that. So technically you're holding all your weapons at once, it's just that you can't deal damage with them or see them or anything, and you can only see the one. That's how I'm doing it. Because I wanted to avoid a main database. Yeah, I know. Loot Goblin mode. It's so good. And then when you drop items, it literally just plops out here anyways, so. Like, I was just like, oh, just put it all in your inventory. And then the only thing I am storing is when you're in your inventory, I have, like, this array of variables, and this is just, like, the weapons that's in your inventory that you're not using. But every time it's in your hand, sometimes it'll overwrite and be like, oh, you put it in your hand, so now it's in your inventory, and that doesn't make sense. So I have a second. Don't gotta worry about spawning attaching to sockets. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Well, I'm randomizing all my weapons. All the weapons, I have a weapon generator, actually, which is kind of the reason why I'm doing it this way. Every weapon has, like, a different size hilt or, like, blade or stuff. I don't know if you've noticed. We've been kind of working outside of the game, but bows are randomized, so their like string is like a bit bigger or some, and the same with like morning stars. But yeah, no, this other array is just the reserve. So when I put some in my hands, I just delete everything in this array, your main items, and I have this holder array that just goes back and sets every other one in this. so resource intensive, but dang it all if it doesn't work. I mean, hey, but yeah, I don't know any other way I would have really done it other than saving the like making that item a mesh whenever I spawn that item as a new weapon. If it works, it works. Yeah. Well, that's the issue. Is like I was just like, if it's a mesh, I'm kind of screwed because I'd have to go and bring it over into something else. Uh, but yeah, that works. See, I'm cooking on just making this like a main platform collider. And then I hope that this doesn't want to break it. Although it'll always spawn. So I'll do. I have an idea. um, Let me see here. This is going to be a test. Uh, I'm running. No, I shouldn't be doing that. This will be player handle. I'm gonna plop it onto there. Okay, I'm not going to plop it onto there because Unity doesn't like it when you try to drag a script into a prefab. Uh, they would rather you drag it into the prefab this way. Sorry, Unity. I hurt your feelings. And then head on over here to where the generative stuff is. Put this here. Get rid of it. Then size generate. Right before things are going to be deleted. Yeah, right here spawns the player rendering check. Stanch, whoa. Make another serialized field. This one is going to be, oh yeah. And I should have made, okay, well, there we go. I made a region to cut all that out, annoyingness. But anyways, so yeah, this will be a private game object of renderer. Seems strange, I know, but transfer up, yeah, position, and then doesn't matter the rotation. And so yeah, this is fundamentally going to create this render that we're making here. I didn't pull up the script, sadly. Yes. That's not it. And why Is this just an unused script? I don't know why I have that there. Weird. But it's just on start. It is going to take an object. So we're going to say public game object of object holder. And then object holder. Whoa. Set active false. Very nice. And on enter if other.tag is equals to player. Okay, game object.tag. No wait. Yeah, I can just say tag. Oh wait, sorry. Dot compare tag with player. Then we can set it true. And then it should get set naturally to false when we leave. Okay, if this works out nicely. Oh yeah. I guess this it will have to be equal to a transform dot parent dot get child 0. Really? Oh, dot game object. There we go. So all this code is going to do is on start, it's going to set this to false so that the whole room isn't rendered. And then it's like, oh, the player's there. Well, when the player is there, the room is, I guess, going to be set to, by the way, this should be in the start, not there. But when the player is there, it's going to be like, oh, room is open so we can see within, like, the specific radius. And I did forget almost forgot rend.transform.parent equals this.gameObject.transform. Or I can just say gameObject.transform for that. Nice. All of a sudden, we are cooking with something. Something is working together. I will never be able to see it though. And as well, I don't think I plopped the main platform into this. No. Okay. Yeah. 0. Please work in action. Doesn't seem to have set. Or this one. I think this one's set. Is it that one isn't? Because I'm just in it. Yeah, because it is working. It may look weird, but whoa, I just got pushed out. Lagging just a bit. What really matters is this here. We're 100. Things loaded. Oh, that's just because 2 rooms loaded. And I'm kicked out again. Try it again. Whoops. Yeah, I know. Well, I would make the collisions more frequent, but that will absolutely destroy my laptop. There's so many enemies. Whoa, and that deleted. It's all about the testing. Every game developer is basically a scientist. That's all it is. Working it out and realizing that most of the time it's not going to work. Why do you keep deleting on me, bro? Is it because the elevator slightly collides with it? Like, I gotta calm that deletion down. Stop and start times 1,000. Well, yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Whoa! So first of all, this was deleted. Yeah, because there's no collision there. And that chest just flies sometimes. Listen, it's almost coming together. So, that's the good part about this. Alright, I swear it's just getting deleted. So I didn't want to have to do this, but oh, but they're already untagged. I'm sorry, but what could be deleting it then? Oh, yeah, it's these walls. I'm thinking that these walls are just a bit too big. Yeah, that maybe work. I've been working on UI stuff today, and to test what I'm doing, I have to stop and start login and cycle through a bunch of different widgets to see if it worked. Okay, that sounds exactly like what a friend of mine was doing. So they linked our Unity project that we were building up to a MongoDB database that was being linked through a JavaScript script. And so, like, the whole time we would try to test stuff, like, he as well had like a crazy good login system and stuff, but we would have to individually go log in just to play because it was like a multiplayer game. And it was fun, but it was just like, what the heck is going on? Working on persistent game settings, storage, server side. Player clicks a button to change. The player logs back in. They're all just set already. That's sick. I gotta actually focus when I like get near the end of a game's cycle of development to put in real options and stuff too. See, I'm a person that plays on like FOV like 300 when I play games, so I really should be doing that more. About 400 individual settings now. Whoa, that is a bunch. What the heck? Sky is just out of reach. The ceiling's too high. Screw you, man. I hate this dang wisps. These wisps are so annoying. But I get it. I totally get it. 100 settings. 60 is where consoles like to sit at. That's something. My computer's not the best. 60, 70, 40 in a bad day. but it is handling the stuff from behind. So that's the good part. But yeah. See, the most settings I've seen a dev like physically, like they were programming do was like I think 12 or something. Wait. I could have the player client just store it on their machine, but I figured if I stick it on the server, player happens. No, they're. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, is like there's somewhat of a happy medium, especially when you're building server side games and things where, you know, sometimes you just wanna have it so that things will be easy, and then sometimes it ain't. Stored. Oh, window positions too, so is there inventory window to one corner? It should be there when the play. Oh, that's so cool that you're having that much recursion and stuff go on. Like, spawn inside the player. Like I was using a bit of recursion before. There we go. There's the sword we wanted to see. 90? Yeah, just because of one room. Position. Huh. That's pretty cool. Which honestly, not too many games actually do that with the UI, or at least well. Especially not AAA games right now. Ugh. I've got to get rid of this AI. I want to have recursion as well in this, but like my recursion, I kind of planned out would be like, you're gonna remember your weapons and things. Like basically, I'm gonna save the player. Whoa. Basically, I'm gonna save the player, but at a certain point, um, you'll just respawn in. Yeah, I was heavily inspired by EverQuest. You can set your screen up exactly how you want. Okay, gonna sound strange. When I was, oh, that's why there's lag, is because there's been a boss this whole time, downstairs. Enemy AI takes up like a weird amount of space sometimes. Let me get away from that boss. Okay, not that far away, but whatever. It's working. Ooh. Yeah, he coming. You know, it's getting somewhere. But gonna sound weird. One of my last professors was one of the designers for like EverQuest 2 for their second game. And he always would talk about his stories of going up against WoW, actually, because it was just like, why are people playing WoW versus EverQuest and stuff? It was pretty funny, but I as well get it because, like, especially during the times that EverQuest and WoW and stuff came out, they were so like brand new and stuff. I could see how you definitely get a lot of inspiration from it. It's so much harder the back then. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what is going on? Oh yeah, playing with real lighting is almost scary. What the heck? This is just one room. So many AIs. Oh, that enemy dropped a weapon. Ooh. For one of the old EQ devs on here. He's working on a game called Monsters and Memories. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. Because that sounds pretty interesting. Let's get to know more of the developer community on Twitch and stuff. There's that too. Nostalgia throwback, but with updated graphics and mechanics. Oh, okay. Whoa. Small dev team, they're building it in Unity. Okay. Interesting. Eh. Well, even though this is still a buggy mess, it's coming together. And I'm gonna be forced to head off because I've gotta work on a website for a group of artists, basically. So I'm gonna have to go, sadly. I'm being kicked off. But it's getting somewhere, and I will check them out. That sounds really interesting. But I guess I'll sign off here. I will be streaming later today. It'll be me playing games as per the usual. So if you like seeing me play games and do terrible at them, he's at A Loving Robot, I think is the name. Let me just quick write that one down. Let me just quick write that one down. Time to open up notes again. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Thank you. And but yeah. So I've got to head. I will see it. I will be uploading some like stuff on the socials about this. If you're interested. And looking at some of the little clips that I've got. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Fun making games, even if it's not the best looking right now and working. But hey, we try, so. I am Mango Q. Yeah, I will be streaming later today, and I will see you. Peace.